is Rob. I like to play games, and welcome back to Precon Party. Today we are going to be taking a look at two new commander decks that were just spoiled this week. That's right, we're taking a look at the Marvel Heroes decks, and I hope you enjoy them. I've been taking a look at them myself here throughout the last couple of days here, see what's going on, see what I can figure out with them, so I can present them to you. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, so first deck we are going to be looking at is the Avengers Assemble deck. This is a Jeskai deck, red, white, blue, so perfect for Captain America, which is our, well, face commander. Captain America team leader is a 3/3 human soldier hero. Whenever another hero you control enters, it gains vigilance and haste until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on that hero and a +1/+1 counter on Captain America. So pretty straightforward game plan here. We are going to be looking to play, well, the Avengers. We're going to try and get Cap out. We're going to try and play as many of the Avengers as we can so that they get pumped up and Cap gets even bigger to, well, beat down our opponents. So pretty solid aggressive strategy. Let's take a look at what we've got here to kind of help with that. So we've got Door of Destinies, artifact enters, choose a creature type. We're going to choose hero, obviously. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, put a charge counter on this. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each charge counter on this artifact. Not bad. Hulkbuster armor. Equipped creature has base power and toughness 9/9 and has flying. Okay, decent. Probably not something we would play with. Quinjet, whenever this vehicle enters or attacks, choose one. You may put a hero creature from your hand onto the battlefield. I like that. I like that a lot. Or return target hero from your graveyard to your hand. So refills itself too if your heroes happen to perish. Cool. We see Metallic Mimic, which is basically a clone effect. We've got Hero Sword. Equipped creature gets +3/+2, and whenever a legendary creature you control enters, you may attach this equipment to it. Okay, cool. Relic of Legends makes sense. This is probably going to be like a Legendary Creatures Matter style deck as well. Makes sense with all of the Avengers and everything like that. What are you? So add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Oh, it's Felwar Stone. Okay, that's cool. Just a different name for it. Let's see. West Coast Experimentation. This card looked really good. X and 2 blue, draw X cards. If X is 5 or more, you may cast a hero spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's really great. That's going to trigger with Cap as well because another hero's entering. So that's really, really nice. Avenge. Costs 2 less to cast if a player attacked you this turn during their last turn. Destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. Not sold on that personally. Not sold on that. Let's take a look at some of the removal. Ask your command. That's a pretty big staple. Raise the Palisade. That's a really good card. Great to see this getting a reprint. Let's see if it'll let me, because this was originally in the Middle Earth set. Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, no, it's not going to show us, but that's okay. So, okay. Not bad. Good thing I don't save these. But you guys can look up any of these deck lists on the Wizards of the Coast website. It's got that. So let's see what else we've got. Destroy Evil, not bad. Arcane Denial, another great staple card, needed a good reprint. And Swords to Plowshares, alright. Land base, let's see. Avengers Tower. Command Tower if you have heroes, cool. Clifftop Retreat, Coastal Peak, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard. Everything's looking pretty good here. Mystic Monastery. So lands could use a bit of an upgrade, but I mean, they're not bad. Definitely decent. Scavenger Grounds, that's a nice one to have a reprint. Always, excuse me. Always a nice card to have in your collection for pesky graveyard decks. Scorched Geyser, Secluded Courtyard, name a creature type, okay. Spectator Steed, ooh. Battle Bond lands, okay. That's going to be worth getting. I haven't seen a lot, I mean, we saw a couple of these printed with the Edge of Eternity's decks, so it's great to see another one being reprinted here. Okay, okay. Let's take a look. We got some protection effects. Bastion Protector's okay, not the biggest fan of it, but it does its job. Gift of Immortality, not a bad card. Let's take a look at some of these unmarked ones. Patriot, cool. Rescue, the Wasp, Ant-Man, Black Widow, draws their second card. Ooh, the cap from the set, great. Love that. The cap from the set has like pseudo vigilance. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped during your turn, if it's the first time that creature has become tapped this turn, untap it. So you attack. That's the first time it becomes untapped. So great. Here's the other commander for the deck, Director Nick Fury. Blue, red, white. That's the proper way it's supposed to be on cards, not red, white, blue. But definitely understandable that they're going to change things for cap. 2/4 Human Spy Hero. Hero spells you cast cost 1 less. Not bad. Ramp in the command zone. And whenever you attack, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a hero card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay. So Cap is the aggressive commander if you want to go that route, or Director Nick Fury is the value engine. He's got the ramp, he's got the card draw, definitely a nice value piece to have. So definitely allows you to take the deck in different ways, while keeping the same, general shell of we're playing the Avengers. Cast a hero spell, draw a card. I've seen a lot of talk around this one. Whenever your commander deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on Jocasta. And whenever you attack with your commander, if this card is in your graveyard, you may return it to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Seems really solid in aggressive commander decks. Definitely something to look out for and add to your collection. Shang-Chi, Hawkeye, another one. Something tells me this thing's going to get broken. 4 mana, 3/4. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if Hawkeye dealt damage to it this turn, draw a card. That includes attacking, by the way. And tap. Hawkeye deals 1 damage to any target. Imagine this thing with like Basilisk Collar or something like that, giving it Death Touch, allowing it to just snipe things. Great. Iron Man, Armed Avenger. Whenever you draw, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Cool. Love that ability. And whenever Iron Man attacks other attacking modified creatures you control, gain flying until end of turn. Okay, I see what they're doing that. Now, something that's interesting, like there's a lot of stuff in this deck that looks like it could add +1/+1 counters. Obviously Cap does, but I don't know. And we'll see this with the next deck as well. I feel like I like the idea, but the follow through feels kind of broken to me. I mean, this deck seems to want to do a lot of different things. This one definitely seems stronger though than the next one we're going to look at, in my opinion. Scarlet Witch seems great. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 2 cards of your library, then exile them face down. You may cast a hero or a non-creature spell from among the cards exiled with Scarlet Witch without paying its mana cost. Cool. So look at the top 2, cast 1 for free. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, stuff like this doesn't seem to fit. If another source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. Like, okay, but we're not a burn deck. We're a beatdown deck. Dealing 1 extra rider damage for a 4-drop? I'm not sure I like that. New Vision. I like this vision a lot. Whenever a player casts a spell, if it isn't that player's turn, choose one, put a +1/+1 counter on Vision, or he phases out. Great, he's got internal protection, he grows bigger. Love it. Marvel, Hercules. Quicksilver has Flash, Double Strike, Haste, but he's 5 mana. 5 mana for 6 damage doesn't seem bad. And as long as he's tapped, you may cast spells as all they had Flash. War Machine. This one I don't mind. Attacking modified creatures you control, gain Double Strike until end of turn. Like, I mean, I guess the modify that it's trying to do is with +1/+1 counter synergies, which isn't bad. I don't mind it. But it just, I don't know, it kind of feels weird comparatively. Maybe I'm just looking at this wrong. Heroic Sacrifice, Methods of the Mighty, choose one or more, destroy an artifact, destroy target tapped creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, okay. I can see where you're going with this. Heroic Return, return a creature from your hand or from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a hero enters this way, it enters with 2 additional counters. Okay. Yeah, so most of the modified stuff is going with +1/+1 counters. Um, Definitely a direction you could take this. But overall, I feel this is, it says what it says on the tin. It's Avengers Assemble. We're building up the team. We're swinging big and we're swinging hard. We're heroes. We're gonna just knock down some doors and beat some bad guys up. So overall, I think this is a pretty solid deck. If you are interested in Marvel superheroes, but you're a huge Avengers fan, or you don't really have like your favorite character, or maybe they weren't even shown in the set. I think this would be a good starting point for a lot of people. For a 3-color deck, it's pretty straightforward. Get Cap, play heroes. Not much else I can say about that. Let's take a look at the other one. Okay. And yeah, so the other deck that was revealed, of the 4, we still don't have the Villains or the Doctor Doom deck, and we don't have the Wakanda Forever Black Panther deck. So waiting on those, probably get revealed later this week. But Mr. Fantastic is the chosen commander. Now, this deck is unique in that you can choose any members of the Fantastic Four as you want as your headliner, so that's really cool. I do like options when building a commander deck. So like if I want to go a different route than what maybe the deck is built around, I can go that route. This deck though is meant to more or less assemble the Fantastic Four, play instants and sorceries, and accrue value that way based on my initial look through. But we'll take a look here. So Mr. Fantastic is a 3 mana, 2 and a blue for a 2/4 Vigilance Reach. Beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, draw a card. There's the non-creature spell, like I mentioned. And then for red, green, white, and blue, tap and copy target triggered ability you control twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. That's not terrible. Could be better, could be worse. Let's take a look at the other members of the Fantastic Four. We've got the Invisible Woman, 2 of anything, a white for a 3/3. Beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a 0/3 colorless wall creature token with Defender. Okay, she makes tokens that help you stay alive. Honestly, this seems already better than Mr. Fantastic, but don't get me wrong, the card draw in the command zone isn't bad either. And whenever you attack, you may pay the same colors, red, green, white, blue. When you do, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature you control and can't be blocked. Okay, okay. Not bad. Let's see what Johnny Storm looks like. The Human Torch. 3 of anything in red for a 3/2. Beginning of combat on your turn. If you cast a non-creature spell this turn, Human Torch gains flying, double strike, and haste until end of turn. And when he attacks, you may pay 4 colors. If you do, until end of turn, whenever he deals combat damage to an opponent, he deals that much damage to each other opponent. Okay. So that's more of the, if you want to go the beat down aggressive style, you take Johnny Storm as or the Human Torch as your commander. I like it. And then we've got the Thing. 5 anything, green, 5/5, big beefy boy. Trample at the beginning of combat any turn. If you cast a non-creature spell this turn, put 4 +1/+1 counters on the Thing. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. So cast him, play some sort of free spell, and he becomes a 9/9. I like it. And whenever he attacks, you may pay the 4 colors. When you do, double the number of each kind of counter on any number of target permanents you control. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that as the commander in here. You'd have to really tool this deck around to be more around counters, like +1/+1 counters and stuff like that, which totally doable. I mean, you're running 4 colors. But okay. Let's see some of the stuff we've got here. We got the Fantasticar. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have the Fantasticar become an artifact creature until end of turn. Cool. Love that. I love vehicles that crew themselves when you do stuff. And whenever you cast your 4th creature spell each turn, you may sacrifice the Fantasticar. If you do, create 4 4/4 colorless construct artifact creature tokens with flying and haste. Okay. I don't mind it. I think it's decent. It comes out early and then in the late game becomes 4 bodies. Unstable Molecule Suit. 3 mana, equip creature gets +2/+2 and indestructible. Equip your commander for 2 or equip for 4. Okay, I don't mind that. Got some copy effects. Galvanic Iteration, copy a spell. That's a reprint. Council of Reeds. This looked like an interesting one that I kind of want to play around with. 2 of anything in a blue for a 2/2. Legend rule does not apply to creatures you control. Cool, awesome. I love having more mirror box style effects for copy decks, so I think this is going to be great. And then at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell, create a copy. That's the Council of Reeds. Okay. I saw some mention on Facebook today that this kind of seemed like Scoot Swarm for blue, which I think Homunculus Horde is a better Scoot Swarm copy, more or less, because this only works on your turn and only if you've cast a non-creature spell, which, yes, obviously you're going to build the deck around that, but unlike Scoot Swarm where that thing balls out of control in 1 turn, this thing it's very limited. You know, yeah, you're going to have your 1 that's going to go to 2 at the beginning of combat on your turn, then it's going to go from 2 to 4 next turn, then 4 to 8 the next turn. I mean, by that point, I don't think you're going to do very much. Mirage Mirror. Artifact becomes a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end turn. Cool. Love that effect. Great reprint needed. Quantum Misalignment. Another really good reprint that was needed. And the Cosmic Crucible. 4 of anything green-blue. Beginning of your first combat phase, add 4 mana of any combination of colors. Cool. I mean, it's 6 mana for an enchantment. It better do something good. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Okay, that I like. That I really like. I think that's a great ability there. Let's take a look at the draw. Expressive Iteration, always a good card. Negative Zone Portal, 2 of anything for an artifact. 2 and tap, exile target card from opponent's graveyard. If it's a creature card, draw a card. Okay, love it. Beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 more creature cards exiled with this artifact, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, sacrifice this artifact and return a card exiled with it at random to its owner's hand. Okay, so only 1 card goes back. I don't know if the risk is worth it, and I don't like paying 2 mana each turn for this type of ability. I'm on the fence. Willie Lumpkin, Postman. Can't be blocked. He's a 2 mana 1/3. Whenever he deals combat damage to an opponent, you draw a card, and that player may draw a card. If they do, that player can't attack you or permanents you control during your next turn. Okay, nice little stacks piece. Love it. Cut a Deal, great reprint. Deep Analysis. Okay. First Family. 2 of anything green-blue, draw X cards, gain X life, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control and spells you've cast this turn. Okay, so at best, this is what? 4 mana, draw 4, gain 4? Not terrible. Not terrible. Another Mr. Fantastic. Reach, whenever 1 or more tokens you control enter, you may draw a card. Didn't see a whole lot of token making, but maybe I missed it. Path of Discovery. Whenever a creature you control enters, it explores. Okay, not bad. Valeria Richards. Precautious. Non-creature spells you cost 1 less. Okay, I think there's better cards to pick for this, as it's a 4 mana 3/3, but what's the other ability? Whenever you cast your first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card. Okay. Okay. Whirlwind of Thought, enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. Perfect. If we're looking to be doing that a lot, this is the perfect card for us here. Into the Time Vortex, another reprint that was definitely needed. 5 mana card. All it says is Cascade and Rebound. Cascade means you're going to look at the top cards of your library till you hit something that's 4 or less, and you're going to cast it for free. That's non-land. And then Rebound, if this was cast from your hand, exile it as it resolves, and at the beginning of your next upkeep, you can cast it without paying its mana cost. Cool. Love it. Recurring Rebound, little expensive for what it does, but it does, allow you to draw a lot of card. Not bad. Genesis Ultimatum, or the 5 Arrive, as they're calling it here. Good card, needed a decent reprint, so not unhappy with that. Seize the Day, untap target creature. After this main phase, there's an additional combat with flashback. Cool. And then, yeah, Silver Surfer and Galactus. Thematically, I like it in here. You know, Surfer is a 5-mana, 4/5 colorless creature flying. When it enters, you may search your library for a card named Galactus, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. And whenever the Surfer deals damage to a player until the end of your next turn, target creature attacks that player each combat if able. So pretty good. You can more or less goad your opponents to attacking other opponents. And then the Big Daddy Galactus, 10 mana, 12/12, flying, trample, indestructible. When he enters, exile target permanent. And Galactus attacks an opponent with the most life among your opponents each combat, if able, unless you control a creature named Silver Surfer, Galactus's Herald. Thematically, yes, I get it. The Fantastic Four, one of their biggest enemies is Galactus. It's also Doom. And I don't feel like Galactus fits in this. I really don't. Let's take a look at the lands real quick, see if there's any good reprints here. Baxter Building, taps for colorless, and then 4 tap, add 4 mana of any combination of colors. Okay. And then 4 tap, draw a card, activate only if you control a creature with toughness 4 or greater. Not that great. Canopy Vista, Cinderglade, Clifftop Retreat, Command Tower, cool. Evolving Wilds, Exotic Orchard, Fabled Passage. This has been getting reprinted a lot lately, and I love it. This should be in every Precon ever. Forest, Glacial Fortress, Heart Hinterland, Island, Mountain, Path of Ancestry, Plains, Prairie Stream, Radiant Summit, cool. Rejuvenating Springs, another one of the Battlebond lands. Love it. Love it. Rootbound Crag, Scorched Geyser, Sulphur Falls, Sun Petal. Okay. So both of the decks come with a new Battlebond land that we've seen. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the removal real quick. See what we've got here. Path to Exile again. Different art. Or no, the other one was Slurs to Plowshare. Never mind. So, okay. Bovine Intervention. Okay. Hull Breach. Collective Effort. Fantastic Elasticity. 3 mana. Return target permanent to its owner hand. Return target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to hand with rebound. Okay, I love that. Clobbering Time, fight spell, or destroy artifact enchantment with rebound. A lot of rebound in here. Franklin's Finality, also known as Annie Joins Up reskin. This is great. This is a reprint that has been needed to be made for a while now. I am so happy this is in here. Black Bolt. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, he gets +2/+2. Whenever Black Bolt becomes a target of spell or ability an opponent controls, destroy target non-land permanent. Cool. Love it. Cleansing Nova. Promise of Loyalty, Tragic Arrogance, okay. Ultimate Nullification, additional cost, sacrifice a legendary creature, exile all creatures and graveyards. I mean, not a fan of it. It's really, really tough to be a fan of that card. So, okay. Well, I think that about wraps it up. We did take a pretty in-depth look on these ones compared to last time, but again, this is, probably about the 3rd or 4th time I've looked at these decks myself, so wanted to kind of do a card-by-card analysis with you all. If you like that style of thing, let me know in the comments. We'll do that moving forward with the Precon party, or even with Commander Corner if you like this style. Speaking of which, Commander Corner will be back on Saturday. I've got a couple deck ideas that we're going to do there. If there's anything you'd like to see maybe from the Marvel set, leave me a comment on this video, or you can always reach me in the Jungle Games Entertainment Discord. I'm a frequent member there. I have Discord up almost constantly, so feel free to tag me or ping me or whatever, and I'll happily respond. But until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We are looking to hit that 500 mark by the end of the year. And until next time, my name is Rob. I like to play games, and we'll see you all in the next time. Take care, everybody.